Okay, come on back.
Go ahead. Okay, I'm sorry. Now, may I see just to see the article in question here?
Yes, and there was, on the computer, there was also a witness that left a comment there as well when we were released from jail. It was at a protest. Basically, we were there that day. I mean, we were excited to basically protest for the Immokalee workers. Like for they were seeking Publix to give them 1 penny more per pound. And we had a sign that said 1 cent. And the officer was aggressive from the beginning.
Detective Richard Rose?
Yes. I mean, I was sexually assaulted, molested without my will. My husband and I were battered physically.
By the officer?
Yes. I didn't know I was under arrest at any time after I was put into the cop vehicle that another officer took us, that came to the scene. And we requested to seek medical attention. And they took us down to the sheriff's station to basically ask for statements.
The sheriff's office or the police office?
The police office. Okay. I don't know which office it was. My mind was just, I was going through a lot. And they asked questions and we answered, and I was cooperative because then I knew that I was in their custody. And I also had injuries, so another officer from the Lakeland PD came and took those pictures of my injuries, and we were seeking medical from the beginning. And then afterwards they took us down to the Lakeland hospital. And then I was handcuffed to the bed, to the hospital bed. And Officer Rose comes in. He chased us down and followed us to the Lakeland police, to the Lakeland hospital. And he comes in. And I said, I'm hurt. And he stood tall and he poked out his chest and he said, you see here my uniform, my badge. And I said, we didn't break any laws. I didn't even know I was going to be arrested or...
Is this something she should be talking to LPD about? Or?
I tried to already.
Okay.
Captain Thomas took us into his office when we came there to press charges and to get our camera back because we had a camera.
Okay.
And we took videos that we were recording the incident, and we had a camera which they took in their possession, and we came there to ask for the camera back and to press charges, but they said we had to seek counsel to get their camera back, and we cannot press charges, we can only file complaints. And Captain Thomas took us into his office with another officer standing behind us, and he asked for a statement. My husband says, we're not here to say a statement, we're here to file charges against this officer. They said, no, we don't see it that way. You can't file charges. You can only file complaints. I started crying because I'm sexual misconduct for taking pictures of his genitals and sent it to the secretary in the Lakeland Police Department, she had an affair with like 20 other officers there. And they said, oh no, send her back out to the lobby, send her back out to the lobby, because I was crying, and basically I was seeking for, I was seeking to file charges.
Right.
Because this man, what he did to us, I mean, when I got up at the protest, when he yanked me up and put the handcuffs on me, my shirt was unbuttoned. I was so ashamed.
Okay, so they told you all you could do at this point was file some type of complaint?
Yes.
Well, that's the way, that...
I mean, I have...
All right, let us
Wait a minute,
talk.
wait a
Let
minute.
us talk.
That's okay.
Try to be calm.
Yeah. Well, that unfortunately is the way it works. If you can file a complaint against them, and they will do what they call an internal investigation, and if they say that say that what you're saying is true, then the officer can face all sorts of problems up into including being fired. Now, if you want to actually file a charge of any kind, assault or anything like that, you go to the state attorney's office at Bartow. It's in the courthouse. They are the ones that file charges. Police don't actually file charges. It's the state attorney's office that does that.
This case goes back to 2013.
I know. That's what I was going to ask you. This is 2 years old. Why are you? What? This has been 2 years and still not resolved?
No, they gave us. We went to court back and forth for 15 times. The last time, they said, you're looking at 15 years or 1 year probation. All the odds were against us.
For what? 15 years for what?
He charged us originally with resisting arrest with and without violence, and then they added charges onto that. He said that we battered him, that we struck his evidence, which is clearly in there, but that didn't happen. He had my husband in a headlock.
And you have all of that on video?
We had pictures.
But they have them now? The police department
We
has them?
finally got them back after 30
Okay.
days, and they said we can't appeal the case because it's been 30 days. But in the state, I found out in the state of Florida, after the prosecutor gets any evidence, within 15 days, he has to give it to the other person, the defender. And that never happened. And we sought counsel, a lawyer, and we asked for our camera specifically. That's why we hired him. He said in 2 months he could get our camera back. That never happened. And then when I tried to go get the camera at the Lakeland PD office, they wouldn't let me get it because they're saying you're not your husband. It's in your husband's property. You can't claim it. And then so we had to wait like a couple more weeks before my husband can go get it, because we are local business owners here in Lakeland, a small business that we run, and my husband is working hard all the time.
Have you talked to the state attorney's office yet?
What state attorney?
In Bartow.
He's in Jerry Hill's office, State Attorney Jerry Hill.
I'm writing this down for you.
Yes. And now my husband is in maximum security in isolation
Where?
at the South County Jail in Polk County because he didn't want to. He doesn't believe. We have the Constitution, which we believe in, that was given to us. So to be secure in our persons, and this was at our work and business where we pay rent to, and we believe that he was targeted because he's an activist, he's a protester, he stands for the innocent ones, he stands for, the ones that are oppressed, the ones that...
Well, why is he in jail?
Because they came to the business where we operate, where we pay rent to the Rufins. They swarmed him and basically asked to search the vehicle. And I wasn't there, so I don't know all